Hi, Sam. How are you today?
Hi. I'm okay, Heather. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for meeting with me. I know this is our first session, so I just kind of want to, get to know you a little bit, understand about why you're here to see me, and kind of go from there. So, if you don't mind, just kind of tell me a little bit about what's been going on.
Uh, yeah, I've been, I guess, just feeling like pretty anxious most days. It's been going on for a bit now. I'm not really sure like how long exactly, but I'm just feeling anxious and it's getting like a lot harder to, I don't know, do all the things that I usually do. Like my apartment used to be spotless and I used to go to the gym all the time. And now I'm just like, I don't know, just getting up and leaving the house just kind of feels like daunting to me right now. So I'm feeling really stuck and I just don't know what to do from here right now.
Okay. So you mentioned you're not really sure how long it's been going on. Would you say like a full year or maybe less than a year or more than a year?
Um, I guess now that we're thinking about it, probably like a few months, maybe like started around 6 months ago, but I think it's kind of gotten worse probably over about like the last 3 months or so.
Okay. And with that, was there something that happened during that time that you can think of that maybe kind of, you know, increase this feeling of anxiousness?
My job started getting like more and more stressful. So I guess that's been like kind of the big thing that's been stressing me out a lot. But and then I don't know, I used to spend a lot of time with one of my friends, but we haven't had as much time together lately either. And she kind of used to be my like we're getting out of the house and doing something buddy. So that's been a little hard the last couple months that we haven't spent as much time together.
Okay. Along with that, you also mentioned, that you're kind of not really engaging in some of those activities that you had been. You said, you're not going to the gym, you're just kind of staying at home, not really taking care of the apartment. What about work? I know that you said work was kind of a source of stress. Are you able to go to work and perform at work?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's been harder to do. I think that's probably been the one area where like everything probably still looks mostly like the same. But yeah, I work remotely some days, and I go in the office some days. So, that's on the days when I'm working remotely, I'm just kind of at home, and then I have to get myself up and get going when I have to go in the office.
Okay. Um,
And
you
also
also,
pet
oh,
sitting on the I'm sorry. Oh, I
no,
also do
that's
like
okay.
some pet sitting on the weekends too, but that's like sometimes at my home or sometimes like nearby at someone else's.
Okay. Um, you mentioned that your one friend that you kind of, had a close relationship with, you feel like that's kind of become a little bit more distant. Do you have anybody else in your support system?
My family's like all on the West Coast. Like I talk to my mom and my sister a good amount. But I usually see them like maybe once a year because it's kind of expensive to get out there.
Yeah.
But we talk on the phone a good amount. And we're close with each other. Like, I tell them what's going on and I know what's going on in their lives too.
Okay. Um, has anybody that you interact with at work, or even that friend that you're not quite as close with, but maybe you're still communicating a little bit here and there. Has anybody noticed the change in you, or do you feel like you're the one noticing it and seeking support for it?
Mm, I think my friends noticed some. She's been like, get out, like, oh, let's like, why don't you do this? Like, oh, I'm busy this weekend, but let's like try to make plans. She's in a relationship now and it's getting like a little more serious, so she has like a little less time, but she's been, I guess, trying to like nudge me out, like to go do stuff even if it's not with her. And as she's been polite about it when she's come over, but like I think she notices that things maybe aren't like quite as clean at home as they used to be.
What about like your eating and sleeping habits? Have those changed at all?
My appetite's fine, but I am sleeping a lot more. I used to sleep probably about like 7, maybe 8 hours a night, and now it's usually I'm needing like about 10 hours of sleep.
Okay. That's kind of significant. That's a good bit more than it sounds like you needed in the past.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't think I asked you, how old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. And do you have a significant other that you spend time with, or um, any children or anyone else directly related to you?
No, I've been dating casually a little bit, but I haven't been so much recently. No, no partner right now. And I no kids. Never married or anything like that.
Okay. So you're kind of out here like fighting this on your own and trying to get back to the Sam that you used to be, it sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to make friends here sometimes. I moved for a job about 2 years ago. And my friend who's now like a little bit busier is kind of like the only really like close friend I've made. I've had people I hang out with or go do this and that with after work here and there, but not like a close friendship.
Okay. And you mentioned that you kind of think that the source of all of this is coming from like increased demands at work. Um, there's nothing else that's happened, like within your life that may have been a factor.
No, no, work's been like more stressful, but just also kind of feels like it came out of nowhere a little bit too, if that makes sense. Like I know it doesn't help when there's like extra stress, but I'm just like I've dealt with stress before. I don't know what this is all about.
Okay. Do you feel like you've been able to handle stress okay in the past?
Yeah, yeah, moving was stressful and like starting this new job was like it was stressful because I just like I didn't have any community here and I was just like on my own moving and like the logistics of like finding an apartment and setting up home and acclimating to like a new job all at once. It was a lot, but I was like really excited about it. And I think that probably helped. But I got through. I felt good about that. I got myself in some good habits here, some good routines. And now I'm just like I don't know, I just feel kind of frozen.
Okay. I just have another question, and then I'll ask you um, another question. But the one I was thinking of off the bat was, do you have any underlying medical conditions, or have you been to your primary care doctor recently?
I had a checkup, I want to say maybe like 4 months ago for my annual physical.
Oh,
Everything's fine. No, nothing notable. Blood work was all good. But yeah, no like no history of illness. My family's been pretty healthy too.
okay. All right. Is there anything else that's been kind of within this past, few months where things have started to kind of take this turn for you? Is there anything else that's happened that you think I should know about? Whether it's other symptoms that you've been experiencing, or anything that maybe you've tried to kind of help yourself do during this time?
I guess when it started, I was really trying to like push to go to the gym like more consistently. Like I was in a good routine and I was like, okay, let's like not let that lapse. But
Mhm.
I did, and I canceled my gym membership like 2 months ago because I hadn't been going and I couldn't justify the expense anymore if I wasn't going.
Mhm.
So I guess maybe like I don't know if I got back into a better routine with something like that, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt. Other than that, I don't know, like a little journaling, but nothing really seems to stick, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right. So it sounds like really trying to figure out some ways for you to cope through these changes, and put in place maybe some coping skills that you find effective, versus maybe what you see online or like on TikTok that people are doing and they work for them, but not necessarily for you. Does that sound about right as far as where your hoping sessions will lead?
Yeah, yeah, that would be great because it's so frustrating. It's like, oh, just try this, you'll feel better. And I'm like, well, I don't. And then I feel all stressed out and worried and just like, oh, I like don't want to leave the house. And then I'm like, well, why isn't this helping? Like I'm trying. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. All right, great. So we are just about out of time. Was there anything else that you wanted to share for today?
No, I think that was like really the big important things. Thank you so much, Heather.
Yeah, thank you, Sam, for sharing all of this with me. And I'm looking forward to kind of helping you get some, routines or strategies in place to kind of help you feel better. Does next week at the same time work well for you?
Yeah, that would be really great.
All right, great. I will see you then.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.